Here's the questions that people actually ask. Hi, I'm Britt. And if you're on this page, you're probably weighing up whether to get in touch. And if you've also come across me on any other social media, you'll probably know that I don't really like doing recorded things, but I want to answer your questions without going down too many rabbit holes. So let's get started. Let's answer some of those questions that are a bit hard to put in writing. But first, if you just want the basics, here's a quick version. So some of the most important questions, and it's not about me, it's about whether this is right for you. So if you've got finding and keeping a job funding in your NDIS plan and work is something that you haven't been able to get traction on, people living with mental health or psychosocial challenges, people who are work ready in a tick box sense, but who want to, this is for you. What you actually get is capacity building support, practical, clinically grounded work that builds the foundations underneath employment so a job becomes possible and stays that way. It's the right time for this when standard employment services feel too big, or when there's groundwork to do first, or working alongside those employment services. We work together over several months, not in a single session, because that's what capacity building takes and how it actually lasts. Right? Some people, based on their goals, we do different frequencies. So you can do this in person at my property in Pine Mountain, just outside of Ipswich. We can do across Southeast Queensland or telehealth for Australia-wide if that suits you and is accessible for you. So the reason it exists is that most employment support services assume that you're already work ready. And if you're not there yet, it isn't a failing. It just means that the groundwork hasn't happened yet. But this is the groundwork, and this is why it would help you. How it starts is a simple conversation. We check you've got the right funding, talk through where you're at, and work out together whether it's the right fit. No commitment to begin. If you haven't come across me before, I'm an accredited rehabilitation counsellor, the founder of Stable and Grounded, but you'll get to know that about me. This is about you. So that's the short version. And if you want the honest answers to the questions that people don't always ask out loud, stay with me. So who is it for? Let me start with the one that I hear the most. Am I too complex for this? Am I even ready to start thinking about work? If part of you is wondering whether you're too much or not far enough along, hear this clearly. This is exactly who it's for. I don't work with people who are ready to work into a job tomorrow. I work with people where it's at, where it's complicated, and when there are barriers that haven't shifted, no matter how many programs you've tried. You're not too complex. You're the point. So what it actually is. So what actually happens is it just resume help. So no, this isn't a job agency, and the work we do is about building the capacity underneath, getting the job and keeping the job. The things that don't show up on a resume. Managing your energy throughout a working week, rebuilding your confidence that's taken some hits, working out what kind of work actually fits your life, your body, and your brain that you have. We do some practical things too, but the foundation is functional. We build the capacity so that when the job comes, it actually sticks. So now let's get to the horses, right? So I work from a property, I have some horses, and people say, do I have to work with the horses? The honest version is that the horses are optional always. Plenty of people never go near them and do excellent work. They may just enjoy being outdoors, the non-confrontational approach. For others, they're part of what we do and how we do it, because a horse gives you immediate, honest feedback about where your body's at, what you're doing in a way that a conversation in an office can't. It's not mystical, it's regulation in real time with a very large animal who really couldn't care less about your resume. If it's not for you, completely fine. If you're curious, let's have a talk about it. So how it fits with employment services. Another one I hear is I've already got an employment provider. Do I have to choose? And here's the thing, you don't. What I do is sit alongside the employment services, not instead of them. Think of them as if the work comes before or runs underneath the job placement side of things. They help you find the job and hold the role, and I help you build the capacity to make sure it's actually possible. And that's what makes it last. The two work together. You don't have to pick one. So the other elephant in the room is about the pricing. And the question that everyone's a little too polite to ask is, why does it cost more than standard employment support? So you can get employment support for around the $80 in the line item. And mine is more because it's a different kind of support delivered by a clinically trained professional. So The $80 support assumes that you're ready to job hunt and you just need a hand doing it or some travel training. Mine is when something just keeps getting in the way of that, right? It's the difference between a personal trainer and a physio. They both help you move better, but if there's an injury there, you need the one with the clinical training behind them. And often you need them first. And honestly, if you're ready to work and you just need help applying, use the cheaper supports. It's a right fit, it's better value. My work is here when it's more complicated than that. The next one we'll get to is we've tried it all before, which may be the most important one for some of you. So maybe the one where you've tried it all before, it doesn't work. Why would this be any different? And I'm not going to promise you that it will. What I will say though, if the programs you tried treated like you were already work ready and just needed a push, it's no wonder they didn't land. We start from a different place. We start with what's actually getting in the way and we build from there slowly enough so that it holds. That's the honest version. And if any of this sounds like you, the next step isn't a commitment. It's just a conversation. No pressure, no assessment, just a chance to talk it through and work out whether this is the right fit. Or maybe asking your support coordinator to give me a call. When you're ready, get in touch and I genuinely would love to hear from you.